Onodera. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. We're in Tokyo, and I is a very active mom, and she has 3 kids, and you do a lot of different things in your community. Can you tell us about one of them, the one that we talked about with the kids and cooking and your school gardens? Can you tell us how you do that and what that's called?
Okay, well, I work for Slow Food Nippon and Edible Schoolyard Japan. Many of my work is based on the belief of myself that all the global issues can be solved locally. And I started making miso with my children about 10 years ago. To begin with, I just did that with my own daughters and their friends, maybe 3 or 4 of them together. But I realized, making miso with 4 children and 10 children from the neighborhood region is the same. And when you invite children to make miso and the parents would come over and you start building the trust and the fun network in the children's walking distance, and you start inviting each other to dinner, and the neighborhood, the community will be built. It's so always nice to have food in the center of community building so that the trust will be flourishing. And the second or the third year making miso, many of the parents involved in miso making started thinking, why don't we start planting soy, not just to buy the soybeans and make miso, but why don't we start sowing the seeds of soy? And we started doing it, and now I'm working on the local organization, Children and Nature Organization, and making this bioregional map. We're in the town of Zushi, about 1 hour away from Tokyo. What we're doing here is making our miso and spreading hundreds and thousands of soy, sharing them with the local parents, and we're having a old Zushi sowing soybeans day after the harvest festival of using only the locally foraged or locally harvested vegetables. What fun it is if you can sow the seeds of soy, harvest them in autumn, make your own miso, and share it with the harvest festival. I think it's the best way to start the movement of eating the true food.
Wonderful.
And I hope it, happens everywhere in the world. Just meet together, get together, cook together, eat together.
You showed us some wonderful pictures of, was it 200 people that came together and brought locally made food?
200 people this time.
And then they improvised recipes, I just made up recipes on the spot.
Yeah. It's a improvisation co-cooking harvesting event.
That must be so fun.
And it's seasonal.
Yeah.
So you get to know not the ordinary map, but bioregional map of how to walk along the river to get this kind of wild herbs, or how to go out in the ocean on a canoe to get local, seaweed.
This is a wonderful map. So no streets or buildings and big house. I mean, there might be a building as a marker, right?
Yeah.
But
when all parents and children have the bioregional map in them of where you live, where the water comes from and where all the food is grown, that's when something starts changing, I think.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your inspiration and your dedication, and we do hope to see this happen around the world.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ai.